Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Legal Talk. I am so happy to have everybody, out there in the audience. So glad that you stayed with us through that nice little commercial break. Stretch your legs, got something to drink, whatever it may be. Maybe a snack even, perhaps out there. So I'm so happy, like I said, to have everybody overflowing with joy, in fact. And so next thing I've got now, look, I've been talking about this for weeks, right? Saying that we're going to do this. And I've been trying to do some more general purpose, general interest legal topics, right? And I ran across this article that was in the Daily Mail recently, about just a couple of weeks back. I thought it was kind of interesting because it turns out that the writer for the Daily Mail, you can Google this and find it on the Daily Mail. Turns out that our beloved package delivery company, FedEx, right, Federal Express, it turns out that they have struck a deal and they will be installing cameras on a lot of their trucks. Now, I don't know about the rest of you guys out there, but I cannot barely get out into these mean streets and drive around a little bit without seeing several FedEx delivery trucks out there. And so one of the things that has happened, there is this company called Flock Technologies, right? And Flock, F-L-O-C-K, is a company that provides, shall we say, driver's license, what do you call it, cameras, right? Well, they do cameras and they capture your license plates. Right? And so one of the things that they do is they'll set up these cameras in the entrance and exits to shopping centers. So let's say there's a shopping center that has a high crime rate and they so they put up these cameras at the entrances and exits. And these cameras, what they do, they're infused with artificial intelligence. God help us. I mean, everything's got AI in it these days. I'm waiting for them to come out with an AI toilet, right? So God knows that's probably coming. But so these cameras are programmed, they're connected with computers, and they've got artificial intelligence. And what they do is they snap a quick picture at the entrance and exit of a property, let's say. That's one use case, right? So you got a shopping center, there's been some high crime statistics going on there, and so what this Flock cameras will do is they will snap a picture of the license plate of every car that's coming in or going out of that shopping mall or shopping center, whatever it is. And they keep a database of that, right? And so, of course, the police have wanted to tie into that. And the police have said, well, look, you got all this data that you're capturing, that could be useful for us to, and so the shopping center will not just turn over certain bits of data that the cops need to, to solve a crime. They just give the police unfettered access to the database so that they can just tap into it anytime they want to, right? Now, when I hear about stuff like that, the first thing that comes to my mind is I think about, well, we have in the United States this idea that the government can't just carry out mass surveillance on us. I know, yeah, maybe that's a good thought or not, right? But in any event, we have the Fourth Amendment that says that we should be free from unreasonable searches and seizures. So the idea being that the government can't just surveil you all the time just to wait and see if you might someday commit a crime, right? And they've got it on tape or whatever, right? You're supposed to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures. But the problem here is that and by the way, there has been case law, right? 1990, 2000, recent case law as far as, police wanting to set up drag nets, right? So say, oh, well, they can't say this whole neighborhood has a high crime rate. We're going to post police officers at the entrance and exits of the neighborhood, and we're going to stop everybody that's coming through the neighborhood, right? So there can be drag nets, but they have to be done in such a way that there's a minimal impact on people about about people just going about their business, right? It can't be overextended, right? So let's say if we saw this, like think about the Boston Marathon bombing, right? Somebody just set off a bomb in this area, so yeah, in that case they can set up a perimeter around that area and check people as they come and go, because they're after a very specific person or people, right? That somebody that committed this heinous crime, right? So they can set up a dragnet temporarily for that limited purpose, right? But they can't just set up general dragnets. The government can't, right? And so that's one thing. But then when we talk about, so that's the physical presence of the police, like in an area. Think about another thing though. What about your data? Supreme Court recently ruled that that police are not able to just willy-nilly access they can't just go to AT&T or go to T-Mobile or Verizon and ask for all of your cell records or all the cell records of everybody in a certain area. Supreme Court has ruled that that's an overstep. They need a warrant for that, right? They need to be able to describe, particularly, they're looking for your cell phone information because they have other information, probable cause, reasonable suspicion. They think that you have been involved in some kind of criminal activity, so they can come after your cell phone data, right? So that's the way, that has been working. Now, there's a thing in the law called the Third-Party Doctrine. And the Third-Party Doctrine is basically this, right? If the government can access data that you've already provided to third parties, right? Then you don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy in that data, and so they can access that. So let's say you sign up for some sweepstakes and you fill out one of those little entrance forms and you give all that information to some company, right? Well, that company, they can then sell that data to data brokers, as long as that's within the thing that you signed and authorized, right? You freely gave up that information. Well, now data brokers can put together all that information. They can collate it, they can tag it, and now they know an awful lot about you, right? And so they can sell that to the police, and the police can buy that. And that is kind of an end run, right? It works its way around the Fourth Amendment. So the courts have ruled that if you freely give up information to another party, and then the police are able to access that, they pay for access, then that's not a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And so probably unless some specific legislation were to come along, my take on this is that this is probably going to be legal. So what's happened, basically, FedEx has entered into an agreement with Flock. They're going to put these license plate cameras on their trucks. I don't know this for sure, as I haven't dug into it, but I mean, probably, I would guess FedEx is probably being somehow compensated for this. All right, so they put these cameras on their trucks, and as their trucks are driving around town, doing their routes, making their deliveries, and we're talking thousands and thousands of trucks. I mean, God only knows, I don't even know how many trucks FedEx operates in their fleet. But if they put cameras on all those trucks and capture this driver license, not driver license, but the plate information from your car, so they're capturing all of this, putting it in a database, and now the police are going to be able to access that. But that's only half of it. They're also going to be there's going to be an ability for the police to say, well, they're a person of interest, right? License plate number ABC123, we're interested in, talking to that person. We think that there's investigative purposes, whatever. They're going to be able to input that into the system, and this artificial intelligence is going to enable these cameras to be able to pick up. So let's say the police have put into the system that they're looking for this certain license plate. And then when the FedEx truck passes you on the road, bing, there you go. It hits and it alerts the police that the license plate they're looking for is at a certain place at a certain time. Now, you can argue that there's, plenty of good about that. Police help the police solve crimes, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to, enter into all of that here and now today, especially since our segment's almost over. But just FYI, because somebody asked me recently, hey, this FedEx thing, is that legal? Can they do that, right? What about the Fourth Amendment? Well, Fourth Amendment, is not all encompassing. And if you freely drive around the city with your license plate showing, which you have to have your plate showing, then it's probably legal. I don't think there's a Fourth Amendment problem with it, but probably it's going to be litigated, and we'll find out if that take is real or not. But technology marches on, and we just can't really put the genie back in the bottle at this point. But there you go, folks. So FedEx is in the business with this Flock, the Flock security company, and they are snapping pictures of license plates as they drive around doing their delivery routes, and they're going to share that information with the police. And my take on it, it's probably not a Fourth Amendment violation. So there you go. I am a tax attorney, John Mitchell, here in beautiful Houston, Texas. And if you have any legal question, but especially tax questions, that's going to be my forte. So you can, you can reach me. I've got a brand new website that I've just got to put up, 99-taxhelp.com. And I've got a new phone number, 1-800-99-TAX-HELP. So, just dial that number, or better yet, send me an email. Forgot to put my email, but it's very, very easy, right? attorneymitchell@pm.me. That's going to be my email. But you got my website, you got my 800 number there. Give me a call if you have topics for the show as well. Love to hear from the audience out there. So again, John Mitchell, Legal Talk. Happy to have you out there. Thanks very much. We're going to go to another quick break, and we will be right back. So stick with us.